Actor Michael Rupert is 62. Movie director Ange Lee is 59. Jazz singer Diane Reeves is 57. Country music singer Dwight Yoakam is 57. Community activist Martin Luther King Jr. III is 56. Movie director Sam Raimi is 54. Parodist Weird Al Yankovic, oh man, he's 54 today. Rock musician Robert Trujillo of Metallica is 49. Christian jazz singer David Thomas of Take Six is 47. Rock musician Brian Nevin of Big Head Todd and the Monsters is 47. Country singer and musician Junior Bryant is 45. Actor John Curtis is 44. Movie director Chris Weitz is 47. CNN medical reporter Dr. Sanjay Gupta is 44. Country singer Jimmy Wayne is 41. Actress Vivian Bang of TV Sullivan and Son is 40. Rock musician Eric Bass of Shinedown is 39. TV personality and host Kat Delay is 37. Actor Ryan Reynolds is 37. Rock singer Matthew Schultz of Cage the Elephant is 30. Rhythm and blues singer Miguel is 28. And actress Masila Lucia is 28. And actress Brianna Evigan is 27. Finally, actress Jessica Stroup is also 27. And if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday. Well, in addition to the song of the day coming up in a little while, I also have popular tweets of the day, what's on TV tonight, and news of the weird after the CBS World News Roundup. Also, I have the Wednesday Hump Day song coming up in just a moment. Nearly forgot about that. Glad I had it in my notes. Right now, though, it's time for Today in History. So I have room for one passenger in the time machine. And I've chosen you, my friend. So go ahead and step into the vehicle. Turn the time circuits on. Start the engine. And away we go. On this date in 1924, October 23rd, 1924, President Calvin Coolidge delivered a speech in the first national radio network broadcast in the United States. And this was one of those few network radio broadcasts not to carry a Geico commercial. That was on this date in 1924. And now for more of Today in History, let's go to the Associated Press.
October 23, 1983. In Lebanon, a suicide truck bomb strikes U.S. Marine headquarters at Beirut International Airport. The blast kills 241 Marines and American sailors, part of an international peacekeeping force. At about the same time, another attack kills 58 French paratroopers. President Ronald Reagan.
We must not allow international criminals and thugs such as these to undermine the peace in Lebanon.
Within weeks, Reagan starts withdrawing U.S. forces from the Mideast country. 1956. In Eastern Europe, a Cold War uprising behind the Iron Curtain. Students in Hungary spark a spontaneous revolt against their communist rulers in the capital, Budapest. As the revolution spreads, Soviet forces enter the country, crushing the uprising within weeks. 1973. President Richard Nixon agrees to turn over White House tape recordings to Judge John J. Sirica. The tapes, sought by the Watergate special prosecutor, are a flashpoint in the scandal that ultimately drives Nixon from office. 2006. Former Enron CEO Jeffrey Skilling is sentenced to 24 months, 4 years in prison for his role in the company's 2001 collapse. Enron's demise wiped out thousands of jobs, more than $60 billion in market value, and more than $2 billion in pension plans at what had been the seventh largest company in the country. And 1925. Johnny Carson, TV's king of late night for 3 decades as host of NBC's The Tonight Show, is born in Corning, Iowa. Today in History, October 23rd, Carlotta Bradley, The Associated Press.
This is Across Our Wide Missouri with Bob Priddy.
The year is 1864. It's been more than 15 months since General Pickett and Longstreet made their tragic charge at Gettysburg, and now it's time for another Gettysburg, far from the 3 days of carnage in the hills of Pennsylvania. The Gettysburg of the West would be fought in the river valleys and hills of West. It had its beginnings a week earlier when former Governor Sterling Price made one last thrust into Missouri, hoping to capture strategic positions like St. Louis, Jefferson City, and Kansas City, dislodging Union forces. He left Doniphan in southern Missouri on September the 20th and ran into trouble at Pilot Knob, where a force one-tenth his size inflicted heavy casualties and delayed him long enough for St. Louis to fortify. He decided to head west, not wanting to tackle St. Louis, although some of his officers thought the city could be taken. The delays had allowed Federal forces to regroup and fortify Jefferson City, too. Price didn't invade the capital, but he contained the Union forces within it long enough to let his supply wagons pass by, headed west. They fought more skirmishes at Glasgow and then at Lexington, where it seemed so long ago that Price had posted a major victory. The dashing cavalry officer Joe Shelby was with him and occupied Glasgow, but had to move on shortly after because he needed to join Price at Independence. Price's men ran into Federal troops under General Samuel Curtis at the Little Blue River on October 21st. They forced Curtis and his men to withdraw to entrenchments along the Big Blue. The serious fighting started the next morning. Price was outnumbered 2-1. He had 9,000 recruits. Curtis and General Alfred Pleasanton had about 20,000 men. Although the Federal forces had better positions along the steep banks of the creek, and although the creek itself could be forded in only a few places, Price's men drove across the Little Blue and by nightfall had taken the Union entrenchments. Shelby then took a hill in front of Westport with a division of Confederate troops. Unlike the Gettysburg to the east, when Union forces had the fortified positions and the Confederates had to make an all-out assault, the Westport battle found the Confederates in the entrenched positions and the Union forces poised to drive them out. Curtis took his 15,000 men to challenge Shelby's Hill. Pleasanton, meanwhile, was working against Price's units along the Big Blue. Time after time, Shelby's Iron Brigade hurled back the Union assault. Finally, Curtis agreed to an audience with an old man who'd been trying to see him. The old man, a longtime resident of the area, claimed to know something about that hill. He told Curtis there was a gap that was a chink in the Confederate defenses that Curtis needed. He led his men through that cut to the top of the hill. Fighting became fierce, some of it hand-to-hand. In the middle of it, Captain Curtis Johnson of the Kansas Volunteers met Confederate Colonel James McGee face-to-face, and there, as the battle raged about them, they fought a duel. Johnson was badly wounded. McGee was killed. McGee's men saw it all happen. It unnerved them. They wavered, and as the pressure continued, they broke, and they fled. In the meantime, Price and General John Marmaduke were taking fierce pressure from Pleasanton along the river. Marmaduke finally had to retreat. Price's rear guard was under attack and couldn't stand up to it, and he too had to withdraw. They fought their way south, struggling along the Missouri-Kansas border with Federal forces in hot pursuit the entire distance. After a week of retreating, the Confederates reached northwestern Arkansas. Behind them, they left 1,000 men dead in the biggest Civil War battle west of the Mississippi. There are some similarities between Westport and Gettysburg, even though they're separated by hundreds of miles. Floyd Shoemaker, the noted Missouri historian, notes that both resulted from invasion campaigns designed to cut Union territory and to threaten principal cities. Both, he said, both fights took 3 days to complete. Both resulted in Southern defeats. Both stopped attempts to push the war further northward in their respective sides of the Mississippi. The Battle of Westport, the Gettysburg of the West, ended on this date, the 23rd of October in 1864.
Halfway through the program, and on a Wednesday, of course, that means it's the Hump Day song of the day. 2 songs for your listening pleasure, and I'll have the CBS World News Roundup coming up in just a moment right after this song, following 8 p.m. market news. Right now, though, it's time for the Hump Day song. I believe I just said that. And today's song is from former hip-hop artist Tupac Shakur, and the song is California Love. The song was released as Tupac's comeback single upon his release from prison in 1995 and was his first single as a Death Row Records artist. Seems that a popular remix version of the song appeared on his 1996 double album, All Eyes on Me, the first such album in the history of Death Row Records. This is perhaps Tupac's best-known song and his most successful, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 2 weeks as a double-A side single with How Do You Want It. The song was nominated for a posthumous Grammy Award as a Best Rap Solo Performance and Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group with Dr. Dre and Roger Troutman in 1997. The original version of the track was not available on any of Shakur's studio albums due to it being intended for Dr. Dre's shelved album, The Chronic Part 2, A New World Odor. Papa's Got a Brand New Funk. But it can now be found on Shakur's compilation of greatest hits and on the United Kingdom version of All Eyes on Me. Now, today's tune was taken from Joe Cocker's 1972 song, Woman to Woman. The line California Knows How to Party and mention of Los Angeles, the neighborhood of Watts and the city of Compton, was sung by Roger Troutman. Well, Pac and Dre mentioned the following other California cities in their verses, and the outro: San Diego, Bay Area will include San Francisco and Oakland, Long Beach, Sacramento, Pasadena, Inglewood, and Hollywood. However, the entire chorus of the song was taken from the song West Coast Pop Lock by Ronnie Hudson and the Street People, released in 1982. Recently, it was used by the NFL's San Francisco 49ers as their entrance song in Super Bowl 47. The California Love was Shakur's only entry on the Rolling Stones 2004 list of the 500 greatest songs of all time, ranked number 346 and number 51 on VH1's countdown of the 100 greatest songs of the 1990s. Now, without further delay, here is this week's Hump Day song, by Tupac Shakur and California Love.
Everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Pack a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens, lean, mean, money making machines serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like I'm Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pay. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah.